you weren't expecting to get this extra vlog. It's birthday week, so let's do a bonus vlog. I actually got challenged to do this one. Insert number of years you are old turning on your birthday here, and 1 lesson per year you've been alive. We're wrapping year 36 and 37 is nigh. Let's see what we have to grow on. My name is Jenna O'Malley. I am your soul writer. Welcome back to all the things. Sci-fi, fantasy, dashes of romance, nerdy references, writing, and more. Oh, soul bards. It's been an interesting life. So I was challenged to make this video again, where for every year I've been alive, to give a piece of advice in a similar number. This is coming up into year 37, so I'm going to give you 36 lessons from life and 1 to grow on off the cuff, because I only wrote 36. This is going to take a bit. Number 1, I will be reading a little bit. Pardon me, I couldn't keep all this straight in my head at one time and make sure we did it right. I had to pre-plan. So number 1, life is not linear, and dang it, I used to love roller coasters. Boy, did I used to love roller coasters. Like, I was a roller coaster junkie until my anxiety got really, really bad after high school. Life really happened during high school, to be fair. So, number 2, bullies only look to offload their baggage to someone because someone else forced them to carry that baggage for them. So this is one of those, me acknowledging that the bullies of your childhood can make you internalize what they said and bully yourself with it. Or the bullies became the bullies, so that whole thing about friends and frenemies, do what you want accordingly. Number 3, you are who completes you. Oh boy. Accepting that you are enough for you at any given moment is often the starting point to healing. And I think a lot of us came into this world knowing that and forgot. Number 4, your education doesn't end at X age or at X situation. You are always learning. You are always adding on. You are always graduating from a new season. Number 5, your plans are meant to be what plants your feet, not necessarily dictate the plot to your life, nor leave you sliding by the seat of your pants. Number 6, sliding on the ice is okay. Some of you know I am a fan of a show called MASH, Mobile Army something hospital. Don't remember the whole thing, but it's the show about the Korean War with all the doctors. Hawkeye, you know who that guy is? There's actually a character, the psychologist on staff, and he only shows up a couple times, and his first and last conversations, he says the same line. Ladies and gentlemen, take my advice. Pull your pants, slide on the ice. And sometimes when life gives you that option, at least have fun. It's going to be cold. Try to find the laughter and the joy anyway. Number 7, it's better to be myself and have a few friends. Hello, friend. Than to be every man's friend. I am a recovering and recovered, in some regards, people pleaser. So this falls right in line of, even with your friends, even with your family, have the boundaries you need to protect yourself. Number 8, always take the job that doesn't require you to pay to wear your jeans on Fridays. That's a little bit of bad teacher, former teacher, recovered teacher humor there. I shouldn't have to pay to wear my own clothes to work. Dang it. Yes, sometimes that money was actually used for a fundraiser. Let me wear my jeans. I bet you my students didn't care what I was wearing the day that I said the most impactful thing to them. Just saying. And sometimes I was wearing jeans. Number 9, travel sets your soul free. It goes back to the human history instinct of hunter-gatherer a little bit. That sense of adventure lies beyond the Shire. And of course, there's all the good things that the sun and the oxygen and the whatnot does for your body, not just for stress reduction, but to actually help heal it. We got a reminder over the last 5 years how healing sunlight can be for the sick. Keep that in mind. Number 10, eat what makes you happy, and therefore sometimes the junk food you're putting into your body is actually making you unhappy. I grew up in a house where my parents would not let us argue over food, but that's mostly because food was semi-scarce. My parents were trying to feed 7 people on $20,000 or less in the 90s. I kid you not. So that, a lot of high-carb processed foods went into my body. I know in part why my body likes what it likes. So that stuff may be good for you to eat it because you need to eat, but you are what you eat. That includes what you consume in social media and media in general. Number 11, letting go, my dear Elsa, only hurts a bit. But I'd rather not be numb. I started teaching when Frozen became super, super popular for a reason, and had to listen to that song on repeat far too much out of children's mouths. And from the mouths of babes, truth shall come, for sure. 12, freedom is in changing your mind. Another song that really sticks with me a lot by Charlotte Vessels is her song Masterpiece. In there, I've said this quote before, I have the freedom to change and to change my mind. They're 2 different separate things, and it's okay to switch whenever you want, because you know what's right for you, and you know when what is right for you becomes what is wrong for you. 14, read the books that you don't think you'll enjoy. Sometimes the cover and the blurb lie to you. This also goes into kind of speaking about another vlog I made recently that I don't know if you guys have gotten yet. Sometimes all of us love reading the fiction stuff when really we should be consuming some nonfiction and vice versa. Saying that as somebody who taught in an era where standards required me to largely teach the stuff that kids did not care about. Nonfiction. Anyway, 15. Meditation can be medicine. It should not be the only medicine you use, but it can become part of your toolbox to help your medicines you do take. If you take medication, I'm not shaming you in any way, shape, or form. Some of us do, like, I have to take my metformin. Some of us have to take our psych meds, our whatevers. Take them. What else are you doing in your daily to help make those things more effective, though? My journey with psych meds is one of disaster, but I will never begrudge somebody else to take their medication so long as it's working for them and helping them and healing them. Because I've been in the opposite end of that category where even meditating was not enough to help with the medication imbalance that I had. Because when you have a doctor who just says, oh, new symptom, here's a pill, here's a pill, here's a pill, and suddenly you're having 8 symptoms and 1 pill for every symptom. No amount of meditation solely was going to fix what was going on in my brain chemistry. You see what I mean? It takes a little bit of both. What is physically going on up here? And also, what are you doing to be mindful to allow the physics to do what it needs to do? Because sometimes the physical can't do what it needs to do, i.e. the meds can't be as effective if your cortisol levels are too high, for example. Or in my case, some psych meds will never be effective because my metformin makes them less effective. I did not know that until recently. That something I needed to be on because I'm pre-diabetic and at high risk for being diabetic type 2 was actually making my psych meds less effective. And I'm like, of course that makes sense. What is the metformin doing to my digestive system? I got a potty all the time. So essentially those psych meds were getting flushed through, either partially absorbed or they were only staying absorbed and in the system absorbed for so long. So sometimes that meditation also applies to pulling back and looking at all the medication and tools you use to take care of yourself to see, are you doing something that is not effectively helping the other stuff in the engine to keep moving? Like, what is causing a rock in the system to be a rock in the system? Sometimes it could be, as what I learned, almost a decade later, one medication I was on was causing all the others not to work. So meditate on the hard stuff, because sometimes that's the medicine you need to kind of, like I said, pull back and look at what's causing the symptoms at a root cause and go there. 16, knowledge is power. Therefore, 17, when you know you have the burden of choice, you also have to figure out what to not only do in the moment, but whether or not you can handle the memory that it creates. And that's where a lot of my anxiety goes rampant. So therefore, number 18, halfway there is the hardest perspective to be. Therefore, be 2 times as kind to yourself along the journey at that point. 19, read the book. 20, watch the movie. 21, see the play. And therefore, 22, decide about its content for yourself. Don't listen to the naysayers and the reviewers, because they may be wrong and may be sensationalizing somebody else's internalized opinion that they themselves did not realize that they internalized before they consumed that content. Anyway, you can see I didn't have that conversation with teenagers a lot over a decade. No, not at all. 23. Let your fan flag fly. Normally it's freak flag fly, but I say fan flag fly because fan flag fly, not fry. Anyway, it's because a lot of us are nerdy about something. Whether it be sports, whether it be anime, whether it be science, whether it be just like how some kids are really into dinosaurs. Just like some kids are really into rocks. Some of us are still into dinosaurs and rocks, and we collect them. They're called crystals. Anywho, you don't necessarily grow out of those things you're a fan of, is where I'm at. So enjoy them. 24, slow down and breathe more often than not. Smell the roses. Smell the dinner while it's in the oven, because sometimes that smell of what's making the house smell so yummy to make you want to eat dissipates by the time you sit down at the dinner table. The heat's turned off, it's pulled out of the oven, aroma, whatever. 25, count blessings, not riches, Ian. Ian Sinclair, one of my vampires and the leading male to season 1 of the Myrna Annals, has a dear sister named Anna Karina. She's a good deal younger than him. She's about 8 years his junior. And she says this to him a lot growing up. Count blessings, not riches. They belong to a merchant family who's kind of doing okay for themselves, and the nobility, they have riches. What blessings do they have that other people who may have lesser riches are taking for granted, is kind of where she goes into. And when she shows up in a later book, she really, really slams that point home with Big Brother. 26. Know how priceless you are. Because you need to know what the access fee to you is. 27. Admitting you don't know it all is where learning and healing combine for your benefit to become the better person you've always wanted to be. and in some cases to become the person that child you needed but did not have, so that you can be that for somebody else. 28. A university degree, or several in my case, doesn't equal an easy financial life, and it also does not equal your ability to help somebody effectively. Been there, done that, learned the lessons, will gladly learn it over and over again so I can be of better service to others through everything I do. 29 and 30 also go together. I am not my mother's anxiety and self-hate. No more than 30, I am my father's recovery journey. My parents grew up in an era where they themselves broke a lot of curses, and it's kind of my generation's job to finish it so that they don't come back up. My siblings and I have rolled our dice and played that tabletop game to our best of our abilities, I would like to say. 31. I take the cycles that my parents broke and heal my lineage to the degree that Nausicaa from Studio Ghibli's Kaze no Tani no Nausicaa, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. In that feature film, and this got cut out of the original dub that came out in the 80s. And I'm really mad that it did, and I'm so glad that Disney Pixar put it back in with their redub. There's a scene where Nausicaa is found out by her uncle in this cavern growing these deadly, poisonous plants. But they're not deadly and poisonous inside that cavern. What the problem was the plants were literally growing into these deadly poisonous plants and breeding and encouraging an ecosystem of insects that were monsters of the same design, because humans had poisoned the topsoil so deeply. We basically were starting to see the evidence of consuming too much of our own Kool-Aid. Nausicaa made a sandbox that was free of all those impurities, and things that were deadly were actually healing the sickness that the jungle was causing. So, what are you doing to excavate the poison? Hug yourself. 32. Commit to your high notes and your low notes. The roller coaster's going to get fun again. Catch your breath. Catch your breath. It's not supposed to be linear. Remember what I said at the beginning of this. We used to enjoy roller coasters anyway. Why don't we still enjoy roller coasters? 33. Hang with the wallflowers and the fur babies at social gatherings. That's probably where you're going to have the most fun and learn the most about being human. 34. Stop denying yourself the things that make you smile. We often talk ourselves out of not just material things. I'm talking about moments and memories because we feel we don't deserve it. I struggle to celebrate my birthday, and it has long felt like a curse I need to break for that reason. My dad died, and my brother was unalived weeks after two big birthdays in my life, and it has kind of felt ever since that to over-celebrate my own birthday, I would deserve any punishments that would come for that. So, stop denying yourself the things that make you smile is something both those men would encourage me to believe. 36. 35. Speak your truth, even with a shaking voice, as evidenced right now. Whew. Okay, Truvy, I know no one's allowed to cry alone in your presence. Chill. 36, always save the last bit of sandwich, the best bite of the sandwich, the meal, whatever, the moment for your last, even if everything before it was not so yummy. I never exactly thought about food that way until I had taught students who were culinary high school kids. They were dual enrolled in a culinary program that actually got them like a 2-year degree equivalency for college and their high school diploma. And they taught me how to love food, but also how to focus on what's the last bite and make that the last memory, not the first. And they were talking about how, like, all these TV cooking shows talk about the competition has to give the best bite. No, what if it's the last bite that matters to win the competition, not the first? And off the cuff, number 37, because the old phrase is one to grow on. You deserve to put you first, and you deserve the boundaries around your sandbox, your garden, your playroom, whatever you want to call the nerdy, epic, amazing things you do. You deserve to protect that. Because your voice mattered from before you ever took your first breath in this life. And you're here for a reason. The world is set to convince you that your voice does not matter. When really, the reason why you're here is to speak up. All the love and hugs to you. I challenge you this year. Take back the power that other people tried to steal from you, and often with your own permission. Thank them for the lessons they have given you, for better and worse, with love, and love yourself. I look forward to spending more time with you. Happy birthday, my fellow Virgos. Heal yourself first, others after.